What is up, everybody? Today we're going to be looking at a Luke red deck, and I named it Spider-Man. I have no idea why. I think the game, or Swad B named it somewhat Spider-Man, and I was just like, sweet, that seems like a cool name. Um, but it does kind of have like the elasticity of a spider web. But basically, before I start talking about the cards, so the main board is built to beat aggro. This deck is designed to beat Sabine. It has a good matchup against Boba. It's going to beat aggro 70% or more of the time, if not higher. Like, we have a ton of life gain in this deck, a ton of great removal spells for aggro. The sideboard is basically what we bring in all of those cards for control, pretty much. Mace Window is dependent upon what we're playing against, but the other cards are coming in against control. So the idea behind this deck is that Luke creates shields, which is amazing. And giving certain units in this deck shields is very, very good. And then we're using like the force mechanics. So we have all of the blue force units, and we're using force throw. So force throw, choose a player. That player discards a card. So it's still a good card to use on turn one against aggros or control, really. But against aggro, just to kind of like get cards out of their hands, so they have less cards to choose from every turn. Now it's good early in the game for that reason. It's not so good later in the game if you're just discarding cards, because they don't really care too much about that. But it's a great removal spell when we have a forced unit on the battlefield. Our other turn one play is R2, just because R2 is amazing with Luke. You play it on turn one, you put a shield on it, and we're playing a good amount of upgrades in this deck. So R2 with his shield and an upgrade is great. So you can put one of our 3 devotions on there, or one of our 2 Luke's lightsabers on an R2 on turn 2, potentially, depending on what the matchup is. Our other turn 1 play is a restore, which is always very good, and then also we have the green Squadron A-Wing. So this deck can definitely put pressure on early, which is what we need against control. Against aggro, it's more like we're just trading units to begin with to slow them down, and then we're using our removal spells and our restore effects to just kind of tempo them out and then take over the game. This deck is built to be behind at first against aggro, similarly to how the Cassian deck was, except this deck has a ton of life gain. Your card draw is basically Yoda versus Cassian, and then you have similar removal spells, like open fire, but of course we play takedown and vigilance here. So then your other turn one play is Sabine. So the reason there's a lot of cheaper units in this deck is so that we can squeeze in a force throw randomly when we have a force unit out there. Our cheapest force unit is Yoda. I did try Guardian out, but it was just so bad. It's just a 2/2. If it was like a 1/3 even, it would be better than a 2/2, because at least they'd have to like use a 3-powered unit to take it out, so that at least had a chance of living. They're more likely to just go face with a 3-powered unit, but Guardian as a 2/2 is just not good. It would, I mean, ideally it's great because you could play Force Throw on turn 2, but it just wasn't good enough. And Sabine just is a 2/3 that attacks in for 3, so it's like I might as well just play Sabine. And possibly when the next set comes out, there'll be a better Force unit early in the game, which is what I hope for this deck, and is for Luke Green and for Luke Blue. Honest, all the Lukes want early Force units. And just force mechanics in general, I hope they get better, because there's not a lot of great choices at the moment. Yeah, we play 3 Yoda, and again, that's to maximize our force units in the deck. I mean, Yoda's still really good, especially with upgrades, but in the other deck, it felt very, very underwhelming compared to the other cards that we had, like Battlefield Marine and Echo Base Defender and things like that. And the weakness of Luke Green was against control, so I wanted to have more units in space. This deck, against control, we have other things that we can do to bring in against them. The main board is not built to beat control. Like, we would have a tough time with control with the main board in this deck. Open fire is amazing against aggro. It's great against Sabine. It's great against Leia. It's great against Boba. I mean, because we have shields. So like, even if we don't take it out, we can shield something and then use the shielded unit to finish it off, or open fire to finish it off. We play a couple of Fleet Lieutenant because occasionally want to be more aggressive. It also helps us to pump up something to kill another unit. So a couple is all we really need because we don't really care too much about being that aggressive. We're more focused on the later game. Um, Kanan, we play 3 of. Kanan's just a very good 4-drop. The other cool thing about Kanan is that its effect is on attack, you may discard 1 card from the defending player's deck for each friendly Spectre unit. So the cool thing is there we also have Zeb. So occasionally you have Zeb and Kanan out, so then you get to discard 2 cards from their deck, and then we can gain up to like 3 or 4 life if we have a Zeb out. Then we play 3 Vigilance, which Vigilance is just amazing against aggro, even at 6 costs, and especially because of all the life gain we have with early in the game with Restore, Devotion, Yoda, Kanan. But Vigilance definitely is like that card that once they start to get close to 20 damage on our 30 HP base, we just kind of get them back down to 15. 15 to 20 range is where we want to be against aggro. We don't want them to get too close to 25 because then they can like 4-cause us and use Sabine's ability to finish us off. So as long as we stay under 20, we're good. But Vigilance helps a lot with that and just taking out a unit. Sometimes we might use it to shield Luke, but definitely, that's its big purpose. Against control, we're going to be using it for multiple things. Depending on the situation, we might shield something. We're definitely probably going to mill them. We might heal 5, depending on what kind of control or mid-range deck it is. 3 system patrol craft so that we just have space taken care of. Sometimes we play against decks, like I would say our weakness would be having, we do have Green Squadron, which is sweet, but sometimes we, are a little weak up in space because Restore is not that strong. So System Patrol Craft just gives us that extra protection up in space to slow things down while we start to take over the game and turn the corner. 3 Takedown as another form of removal to deal with things in space when we aren't able to deal with Sabine, it's great. To finish things off that we've swung in on with some of our cheaper units that we played earlier in the game. Zeb, again, is such, it's not as good because we don't play ECL, but it's still amazing because we have shields. Like, turns out shielding a Zeb is amazing because then it just becomes a pain in the butt, like, to deal with because we play it, we shield it, then we swing in, we're killing 2 units every turn. And then if we're able to get an Obi-Wan down, and we can pump up Zeb even more, like, yeah, good luck with that. Obi-Wan is our sentinel on the ground. We use all the other stuff above to kind of slow things down. We occasionally need Obi-Wan against aggro, but most of the time we don't. Obi-Wan's more for the Boba Fett matchup to slow them down. Luke is one of our finishers to take over the game, kill a big thing, kill something that's got too many wing leader counters on it. And then we play Redemption as our, just a last resort, gain 8 life if we need to. It's also a sentinel in space. We can put a shield on it with Luke. Our Luke turn is definitely at its best when we have 1 or 2 units on the ground or in space with it, so that we can benefit from giving something a shield. Good opponents will try to remove all of our units on the Luke turn or have a way to deal with Luke immediately, but a lot of times against aggro or things that are more aggressive, like, we don't care if Luke dies. Luke, it's really like we just don't want them to go to our face. So we're using all these spells to gain the life to help slow them down. But if Luke dies right away, it's not like the worst thing ever. Like, we still have very good units and very good removal spells to deal with them. Force throw is amazing once we get a force unit out, and that usually, like, by itself, like a Luke Skywalker unit plus a force throw. We can also use force throw to discard our own card from ourselves if we have a force unit down early in the game, like discard a Redemption and do 8 damage to something. Is really sweet, and that's one of the cool ways you can use that card too. So it's it's more of a tempo deck. Gains a lot of life. Deal with units like this. Like I said, the main board is built to beat aggro. You are going to beat aggro once you get the hang of this deck, like 70% of the time or more. I didn't sit here and calculate it yet, but in testing, I have not lost to aggro. Aggro is what I want to see. The sideboard, we bring in 3 Spark of Rebellions. 3 K2SOs, 2 Vanquish, and Mace Window. Mace Window is a maybe card. I would consider Forced Surrender as another card, but I like Mace Window just because I never get to play it, and it seems like this is a deck I might want to play it in. I feel like it's good against mid-range, and it's, and it does do something against control, where if we kill a thing, it readies, and it can put more pressure on them to a certain degree. So what are we taking out against control? So we're probably definitely taking out Devotion, Open Fire, and I would say Luke's Lightsaber. Just like all the cards that we're not really going to be using. Like Takedown still has its purpose. Another consideration, and this will take more testing, is just to put For a Cause I Believe in, because once we sideboard in Spark K2SO, then most of the cards in our deck are going to be Rebel cards, and we're basically removing all of the cards that aren't. So we'll have a lot higher number to hit. I think it leaves just System, Patrol Craft, and Takedown. I mean, you could even trim those instead of Luke's Lightsaber just so you have more Rebel cards. But I think that's an option too, because For a Cause is so good against control to kind of finish them off, and it also sets up your draws. So that might be an option too in the sideboard, to just take out Mace Windu and maybe trim like one other card. I don't know what though, but that's a thought. But K2SO, we're either using it when it dies to do 3 damage if we're putting a lot of pressure on them, or to discard cards from their hand. So we're using Force Throw and K2SO to discard cards from their hand. We're using Vigilance to mill them. We're trying to get early pressure, use our Restored, our Green Squadron to get units in space early. Use Sabine, R2, Fleet Lieutenant, Kanan to pressure them more. Yoda is still, okay against control because we at least draw a card if they remove it. Otherwise, it's just gaining us life and keeping us from being at risk of getting behind. Zeb, again, in this deck serves the purpose of being the card that catches us up if we are way behind. Now, obviously, we don't have ECL, which is what made it so amazing in Cassian. And again, this deck is similar to Cassian in some ways, because of Zebs and the open fires and the card draw. But Zeb is so nuts. And like when you get the Luke, so a really good curve, obviously, is play Zeb. It lives ideally. You deploy Luke, attack in, kill a thing, or just go face, whatever. Put a shield on Zeb. Then you use Zeb to kill 2 things and take 0 damage. So it's pretty sweet, pretty fun. I just wanted to try a different Luke variant and just give it a shot. What I love about this game, and continue to love about this game, is that you can take any deck, not any deck, but a lot of decks, and just play them a lot, get really good at them, and design them to beat the meta, or to have good matchups against most, the general. Obviously, Sabine is something you have to account for, and that's what I did with this main board. And then figure out a way to beat control, and you can have a chance. Like, there's so many decks that are doing well right now because it's more about the pilot, and that's the way card games should be. But unfortunately, all the card games I've ever played up until this point have just been about who buys the most expensive cards and plays the cheapest cards that are like ridiculously broken, and then you have to deal with that, and then it really narrows the metagame because you have to deal with those broken cards. And then this game in particular, what's so great about it is, like, even if there is a card that's like super great, besides Boba the Leader, which is the one card that I feel like is a little too overpowered, but because not everybody can play it. But any other card like that's not a leader, everybody can play that card potentially if they really wanted to, if it's that good, Like Spark of Rebellion, for example. Like, this card is an amazing card on turn 1, but in this deck I'm using it for 4 cost, which I'm totally fine with. And the fact that I can do that, I just feel like it makes the game so much more balanced, because everybody has access to Spark of Rebellion. I mean, you see it recently. Everybody's been playing Spark of Rebellion for 6 cost in control decks. So I really like that about this game, and I think it really makes the game very balanced and fair. But also, please remember to go to the community page and write down your favorite card on the 500 subscriber giveaway post, and please subscribe and have a chance at winning those plethora of cards that I'll be giving out. Let's get into some games and see how this deck performs on Carabast. Oh, before... Alright. Up against Sabine Yellow here. Definitely have to mulligan that. Okay, that's a little better. So turn 1 we can force throw. Turn 2 we can open fire. Could also restore into fleet. I think we're gonna save the force throw. For a little later. Super good against aggro. So get a life restore unit down. Okay. Just go ahead and open fire the green A-wing immediately, so that they can't wing leader it or pump it up. I don't think we need 2 redemptions. 1 is enough later in the game, just in case, as an insurance policy to make sure we win this game. Open that fire, so they don't have a target for fleet or wing leader, which is probably what they're trying to do. Red 3. Yeah, we're gonna swing into it, just to make sure it's an easy target to die. I'll play Yoda force throw next turn. Okay. System Patrol Craft's not a bad card here either, because they do play a little more flying units. So then we would just take down this turn, or just Patrol Craft this turn, and then... yeah, let's just keep the removal. Stick with the plan. I could use the Resource just to get rid of Red 3 too. If... okay, well that's fine. I mean, he's just gonna exhaust it. Okay. We just take 3 here, or do we just take it down? I think we just take our 3. Take our 3 damage. Okay, our 6 damage. Sure. He discarded a... why can't I see how many cards he has in his hand? Does he not have a card in his hand? I wouldn't. Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't make sense. So he got rid of K2SO, nice. Okay. He's just gonna... I mean, we're just gonna take down Sabine next turn, kill Leia. Okay. Devotion's good. But I want to keep the devotion. Okay. Yoda dies. Or is he going face? No. Okay. Gotta plug my battery in. There we go. And okay. Say we're in pretty good shape here. Can we? Can't give a shield to anything. Why is it even doing that? Okay, it's fine. Okay, gonna be at 6 resources here. I don't think we need a second one of these. Okay, that's 5. Well, let's just swing in with Yoda to Sabine, I guess. Just to weaken it so that Luke can kill it. Ooh. And we get to draw Vigilance, which is disgusting. Damn. Surprise striking in, huh? Yeah, we're gonna just go ahead and Vigilance. Defeat. Gain that life back. What a sweet draw, right? Just get rid of their whole board. Get back to the initial health. Pretty disgusting swing turn there for us. I don't think we need R2. Leia exhausts Luke. We have 7, so we can just do all these, right? Let's play Devotion on Luke to make it a 5-4, I think. To make it a little harder to kill. Let's play a Sabine. And then we're going to play a Fleet Lieutenant on the Restore. Sweet. Alright, now we have Redemption. We do not need a Restore. Obi-Wan is good too to protect Luke. So that's the first thing we're going to do here, just to try to keep Luke alive longer. Especially because we're not in really a big hurry for our life total. Okay. Sure. Let's give it a shield, I think. We just kill that? No. Well. Yeah, sure. Sure. Yeah, so this way if he attacks the Restore, then we can just kill the Falcon to follow it up. Okay. Alright, our opponent went Sabine route. I mean, at this point, we're not even really worried about Falcon. I'm just gonna go face and just outrace them since we have way more units on the board. And we just have a Redemption sitting in the wings. Why did he not attack? I don't think we need another Sabine. Oh, he didn't want to pay for it, okay. That was weird. Bounced it back to his hand. Good game, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how those matchups go. We just kind of take over. Against life gain, you know, these restore is good. Obi-Wan's great against aggro. Sorry, against aggro. Life gain is good. Redemption's amazing. So that was our ace in the hole if we needed it. Devotion's great. We play 3 devotion in here. So that, you know, the main board's built to beat aggro. Alright, playing against Boba here. We have turn 1 Sabine, turn 2 Yoda. So we're getting rid of... it's tough. Obi-Wan's really good. So is Vigilance though. Man, it's tough. Tough choices all around. Okay, lose Sabine, sure. All good in the neighborhood. Okay. Open fire or the guy. It's gotta be patrol craft here. He hasn't done any damage yet, so if Yoda dies, no big deal, we draw a card. Okay, sure. Okay, so that's a Sentinel, which is fine. I think we're doing okay so far. Don't need a second Yoda. Redemption's great. So we have a ton of life gain to make this game last forever. Playing... let's just go face. Just killing Yoda? No, no kill Yoda. Are we killing Yoda? I think so. I'll do that. It's fine with me. Okay. Sure. I just want Zeb to live, that's the main thing. We have 3 Vigilance in our hand. So first thing we're going to do is deploy Luke and External. Are we though? Are we just gonna... Is he surprise striking or is he just going face? Okay, so he's gonna kill our Zeb, okay. Cool. It's totally fine. Great thing is here we can just start removing things. Wow. Yeah, I mean, let's just kill Boba. Take 9 damage. he could have a surprise strike, I guess. I don't think we really care about losing the leader here. I don't care personally. I do not care. Well, that's a disgusting draw, isn't it? We're like an awkward situation here. So we just play Luke's lightsaber and make it a 7/8, I think. You can't waylay it. Yeah, it was awkward situation, but I think it's worth it since we have so much life gain in our hand. Like, okay, he took off the shield. Okay. I mean, I'm just going face now. This deck is actually a lot of fun. Okay. Yeah, we already did our thing, so. Okay, he's ambushing in something. Okay, it's exhausted. It's gonna take 6, and he's gonna kill the crafty smuggler. 2 trade with it, which is fine. Totally fine. I'll take that trade all day. Like I said, I don't even care about that card. Yeah. So we're gonna be at 8 resources here. So if we have a 2-drop, I might just play the 2-drop. Force throw's good too. So we could play Luke in a force throw, which is disgusting. Yeah. Okay, let's just do that. Depending on what he plays. Oh, if he plays like a Fet's Fire Spray here. No, I'm not worried about that. So we'll just do opponent, get him to discard a card. And he's at 2 cards in hand. He discarded Traitorous, which is disgusting. That we just got rid of that card. And that is all we can do this turn. Redemption. Do we need to? Possibly. Or we could do Vigilance. Fleet the Tenant here. Which I feel pretty good about. Since we have Luke on the board, I don't think so. Let's just close this game out. If he attacks him with Boba and does 6, we kill Boba. It's fine. Or we just kill the Viper Pro Droid so he can't kill Luke this turn, either way. Okay. Good game. That was a pretty dominant performance there. Yeah, that felt really good. You don't like beat the crap out of Boba too much, but when you do, you remember it. Yeah, because there's basically, he swings it with Boba, it takes 6. Or if he has a surprise strike, lucky enough he kills it. Either way. we're in good shape. We play Vigilance, gain our life back to 0. We could even play Vigilance and put a shield on Luke, which was another option that I did not do. But I could have if it lived. Probably what I would have done, honestly. And then still have redemption in our back pocket, so. Feels. Okay, up against another Sabine yellow here. So I think we're going to get rid of Luke and Sabine. We're going to go restore into Yoda. And then have Force Throw active on turn 3. Okay, so getting rid of Luke and Sabine. Are we getting rid of Sabine though? Yes. Ooh. Now I wish we didn't. We're just gonna immediately lose this. Let's just Force Throw as an option, just to kind of put them in an awkward situation. Force Throw is still good on turn 1 against aggro because they want to play all their cards out. So yeah, I mean that's a good card for them to get rid of. So all right, double restart. I don't think we need both of those. Takedown's good. Okay. And we can put a shield on it too. Depends on what he does. I think we're still putting a shield on it though. Either way. Okay. Okay. Alright. Up to 7 damage. Zeb's nice, Open Fire's nice. Obi-Wan's good. I'm just trying to think what our next couple of turns are going to look like. Are we just going to go Takedown here and then I don't really want to take 6 more damage at least. So I kind of, on turn 6, I kind of want the option to play 2 things like Open Fire and Yoda, so yeah. If I take 6 more damage here, I can immediately take down, but that's my only action. So he did pay for Falcon here, so let's make him regret paying for it. Could save the takedown for next turn to kill the Sabine, unless he has a wing leader, which is possible. Okay, he went face. We go to his face, or to his unit, I mean. Okay, pumps the damage. Okay, what else does he do? Does he have the wing leader? He does have the wing leader, which is very nice. No, he does not. Okay, so we're in good shape. I think we're getting rid of Yoda at this point. So let's take down Vigilance. I don't know if we should get rid of Yoda. Still a restore card. Next turn, we can go Vigilance. The following turn, we can go Zeb, green A-Wing. Okay. Alright, so we go there, gain our life. I mean, I do love Zeb, but I think we're just gonna be smart and do it the way that I said originally. We'll take 3 more here from Sabine. Okay. We're in fine shape though, with the Vigilance in the wings. Ooh, double Vigilance in the wings. Okay. Heal, defeat. Bye bye, Red 3. Okay, take 3. Deploy. Look at opponent's hands, he takes my Vigilance. No big deal. Put a shield. He still has 3. We gain a life. Okay. Another Vigilance. So he's already used 2 sparks, so he could have a 3rd one in his deck, but usually they only play 2. But we'll see. Guess we'll find out. Kanan's good here, Zeb's good here. Vigilance is good here. I think all these are good choices. I'm gonna be man. I really don't want to get rid of any of these cards. Which gives us the option. We can go Kanan green squad, or we can just play Vigilance again. Yeah. Let's just not. We don't need to. Okay, he has the initiative. So what's he playing? Sneak attack? Okay, swinging for 5. Okay. Yeah, so that lets us know what we're doing right off gate. It's a cute play. He thinks we had the god draw. Okay, man. Whatever you say. To me, I honestly don't think it means anything, because we have a ton of life gain in this deck. Yeah, like there's a devotion. Like it's fine. Patrolcraft is good, Kanan's good. I think we can let go of Kanan now. I think if he doesn't attack in right away. Okay, well there you go. So let's put devotion here. So we have 2 things swinging it for life. He probably has it for a cause I believe in, I'm sure. They always do. Okay, he does not. Alright, well, we are going to Swing in Pathfinder, put a shield here. It may have been the wrong order, but it's fine. Okay. Cool. Slowly starting to take over here. I don't think we need Sabine. I'd rather have Fleet Lieutenant Zeb or Green Squadron Zeb. Finding a Luke or a Redemption here soon would be nice. Just to kind of get away from that 25 damage spot that we're in. He has another sneak attack for 5. I mean, that's a lot if he does. Sneak attack Chewie would be bad too. I mean, we could kill it with Fleet Lieutenant, but wouldn't be the best play. Okay, good game. Guess he's forfeiting. He just wants to, he keeps trying to say that we have a god draw. Deck is built to beat you. Nothing new. Wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, I don't think so. But good game. I haven't lost to an aggro deck yet. Is this guy gonna quit, or is he just like want to just keep trying to talk about how I drew 3 Vigilance and he'd spark a rebellion to 1? There you go. Like he's acting like I got the god draw, but he discarded one of my Vigilance. So like, anyways. And again, it's not like I got Redemption, because if I had gotten Redemption, this game wouldn't have been close, or even Luke. People on the internet, right? Alright, up against Sabine Green here. No, I like our hand. We're gonna get rid of Obi-Wan and Patrolcraft, I think. Both of our Sentinels. That feels not the greatest idea. This is where you wish Schmuggle was a thing. Is he ECLing to kill our Sabine? No, he is not. Cool. So what we're doing here is just playing defense at first. Second, Obi-Wan. So what's our line of play here? I mean, if we're just playing defense, we don't really care about devotion, right? Well, we could put devotion on it next turn on the restore, so let's just take that out so we can't Fleet Lieutenant or Wing Leader it. shield on it. Okay, redemption suite, open fire suite. I think we can just let devotion go since we have the redemption now and the vigilance. Okay, open fire. Kill Sabine next turn with takedown. Yeah, we don't need that. She's gonna take down Sabine or K2SO. Sabine, I guess. Just so you can't like bring in Steadfast or as a 7/7. Okay. Next turn we can kill K2SO with Luke, gain 5 life. Okay. The following turn we can play Yoda and Kanan. Seems good. Okay, sure. Anything that's not going to my face is wonderful, so I am good with that all day. Okay. Yeah, we definitely need to kill Dodano, but second vigilance is nice. But we don't need it right now. Let's just get down. Do we not need it, or do we want it? Let's play Kanan. He might just kill it with like another heroic sacrifice or something. I'm trying to decide if I just want to give it a shield here. Okay. No, let's just give him multiple targets. Okay. Cool. Sure. Alright, we can redemption this turn. Okay. Yeah, definitely gonna redemption. Okay. So we killed Adana first. Ooh, devotion's good. We can vigilance devotion here. Feels pretty good. Okay, so go there. Gain a life. Goes for 5. We We go here. He kills Kanan. No? Okay. Get to 19 and take out another unit. Play Devotion onto Restore. Okay, we're at 20. Just gonna play. I mean, now this game I will say we have had the God draw. So this is our third Vigilance, isn't it? Okay, ambush is in to kill Kanan. Overwhelms us or something. What's he killing him? Okay, so we just kill Steadfast. We can swing it for 3 life here, get to 21. Yeah, let's do that first. Okay. Kill that. Use card to restore. Okay, he just gave up. Yeah, I was about to say, I didn't see that one going on for too much longer. Next, we're just gonna give it a shield, and then we have a 6/9. But we're built for this matchup. Our sideboard is built for control, so we're weak against control right now, for sure. So back for the post game. So I mean we did amazing. This deck did amazing against aggro, is what we played against in the video. I did have one other game where I played against Iden Green, I think, and it very much so felt like I needed my sideboard because this deck is very, very heavily favored to beat aggro in the main board, as you saw from the games. So, you know, I think if you play it like this, be prepared for control to be difficult in the main board. I mean, I guess you could tweak it a little bit and put, I think K2SO is a good card to put in if you were going to put in a card that's kind of serves multiple purposes. It either does damage or discards cards. So, I mean, that's a card you could kind of squeeze in to kind of make it a little more balanced against control if you wanted to do that. But I like it as is. I mean, I figure if I were to play this in a tournament, I would just, you know, beat the crap out of aggro, and then anytime I got matched up against control, I know exactly what I'm doing. So, and hopefully I can win those next 2 games if I'm not able to take game 1. I mean, Luke still gives you a very good chance against control. You still have Force Throw. You still have Fleet Lieutenant. You still have units in space. You still have Shield. So you still have a decent chance at winning, but I think it's definitely more in their favor. Let's put it that way. The Boba matchup felt great. That was a butt whooping. Obviously, I didn't get Fett's Fire Spray, but I had cards planned for that the whole time. We had a Luke ready for a Fett's Fire Spray. We had the System Patrol Craft. We could put a shield on it with Luke the leader if we wanted. I think we did. I can't remember exactly. We still have Green A Squadron and Devotion and things like that to pump up our space units to make it easier to kill Fett's Fire Spray. So I still feel like we had answers. I mean, anytime you play Boba and they don't get Fett's Fire Spray, it's a different game. But it doesn't mean that it would have been much different of a result. Like they may have gotten a little more damage in, but Um, Zeb continues to be the card that just like I love that card. I can't wait to play it more in like Cassian or Sabine Green with the next set with some of those new cards that are awesome. Like ECLing Zeb is definitely the best way to play it, but playing it in Luke is not bad either. I mean, I love the Kanan synergy it has, and then I love that you can put a shield on Zeb because it's like a removal. It's a double removal spell on a unit with a shield. So you don't even have to use your removal spells. You could just use Zeb as a double removal spell with a shield. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You can tell we had a couple salty opponents because our deck is highly favored against aggro. But that's how it goes, right? But as always, y'all have a good one and peace out.